Before we start, stay till the very end of this video, because there is something Anthropic is hiding from the public right now. Something so powerful they decided you cannot have it yet. I will tell you everything at the end. For the past 2 years, if someone asked you which AI is the best, the answer was obvious. ChatGPT. No debate, no competition. ChatGPT was the default, the one everyone recommended, the one that changed how the world works. But something shifted in April 2026, and most people have not noticed yet. On April 16, 2026, Anthropic released Claude Opus 4.7. Within days, one of the world's most respected tech publications, Tom's Guide, put it through 7 real-world challenges against ChatGPT 5.5. Not lab benchmarks, not synthetic tests. 7 tasks that a real professional would actually use AI for in their daily work. Probability, physics, mathematics, chemistry, logic, calculus, scientific reasoning. Claude won every single one, 7-0. And the way it won, especially on one particular test, will make you question everything you thought you knew about ChatGPT. In this video, Aria is going to break down all 7 tests with exactly what happened in each one, explain Claude Code and whether it will take your coding job, show you what Cowork and Claude for Excel actually do, tell you which Claude plan you actually need, and reveal the secret model Anthropic built but locked away from the public. This is everything happening with Claude right now, in one video. Before the benchmarks, let me quickly tell you where Opus 4.7 fits in the Claude family, because most people watching this do not actually need it. Anthropic has 3 tiers: Haiku, Sonnet, and Opus. Haiku Form 5 is the free tier, fast, handles simple tasks perfectly, great for quick questions and casual daily use. Sonnet 4.6 is the middle ground, and honestly, for most everyday tasks including content writing, YouTube automation, email drafting, research, and even solid coding work. Sonnet 4.6 is completely good enough. You do not need to upgrade beyond this for most things you do daily. Opus 4.7 is for serious long-horizon work. Complex multi-step engineering tasks that run for hours. Large code base analysis. Autonomous workflows that would break other models midway through. The 1 million token context window means it holds an entire code base in memory simultaneously. If that is not what you do, Sonnet 4.6 is your friend and it does not cost extra on the Pro plan. Now let us get into the benchmarks. Let us not waste any time. Test 1. Multi-step probability. She gave both AIs a complex coin probability problem. 3 coins, 1 fair, 1 biased, 1 two-headed. Pick one at random, flip it 3 times, all heads. What is the probability the next flip is heads? ChatGPT laid it out clearly and got it right. Claude got it right, and provided the simplified general formula at the end, showing it understood the underlying mathematical shortcut, not just the arithmetic. Claude won. Test 2. Physics estimation. If every person on Earth simultaneously jumped onto a train circling the equator, how much would Earth's rotation change? ChatGPT used a simplified value and got 1.3 nanoseconds. Claude used the more precise formula for Earth's moment of inertia and got 1.03 nanoseconds. More accurate, more rigorous. Claude won. Test 3. Proof-based mathematics. Prove that n to the power of 5 minus n is divisible by 30. Both models got it right. But Claude used Fermat's little theorem more efficiently, identified the underlying mathematical structure, and added what Tom's Guide called a beautiful generalization at the end. Claude won the hat trick. Test 4. Chemistry under constraints. A buffer solution calculation. Acetic acid, sodium acetate, adding HCl. Calculate the new pH and explain what happens to buffering capacity with dilute solutions. Both got it right. But Claude's explanation was more academically sound, using a formal table and the mathematical definition of buffer capacity. Claude won again. Test 5. Logic puzzle. 5 people sitting in a row. Multiple constraints about positioning. How many valid arrangements exist? List them all. This is where it gets really interesting. ChatGPT gave 2 answers. Confidently. Both were wrong. Both violated the constraints of the puzzle. It chose to seem right rather than admit the truth. Claude said, "This puzzle has no valid solution," and Claude was correct. That one moment tells you everything about the difference between these two AI systems right now. Claude won by being honest. Test 6. Applied calculus. Design a cylindrical can to hold 500 milliliters at minimum material cost, where the top and bottom cost twice as much as the sides. ChatGPT gave a perfect textbook answer. Claude gave the same correct answer, but also included a second derivative test to confirm the minimum, showed the exact radical forms, and added an intuitive interpretation of why the answer makes physical sense. Claude won again. Test 7. Scientific reasoning. A study finds coffee drinkers live 2 years longer. A journalist says coffee extends lifespan. Identify the methodological problems and design a better study. ChatGPT spotted the main issues. Claude elevated the answer to a professional research level, identifying more subtle problems and designing a more rigorous study methodology. Claude won. 7 tests, 7 wins, not one close. But the logic puzzle moment, where ChatGPT hallucinated 2 wrong answers rather than saying "I do not know," that is the one that matters most, because accuracy you can verify, but honesty is harder to measure. And on that test, Claude showed something that matters more than being right. It showed it knows when it does not know. I will drop all 7 test prompts in the description below, so you can try them yourself on both Claude and ChatGPT. Run them, see what you get, and come back and tell me in the comments what happened at your end. I genuinely want to know. Now let me talk about Claude Code, and I want to address something that is genuinely on every developer's mind right now. Will Claude Code take your job? Claude Code runs directly in your terminal, seeing your actual code base, writing code, executing commands, managing Git, and fixing bugs autonomously. Claude Code Memory, released March 2026, means Claude now remembers your project context, debugging patterns, and preferred coding style across sessions automatically. No setup required. And here is what the market told us about how seriously people are taking this. When Anthropic published a blog post about using Claude Code to modernize COBOL, the decades-old programming language running IBM's mainframe systems, IBM shares dropped nearly 13% in a single day. That is a $200 billion company losing $26 billion of value because of a blog post about AI coding. So, will it take your job? Honest answer, it depends on what kind of developer you are. If your job is purely mechanical, copying patterns, writing boilerplate, doing exactly what you are told without thinking about architecture or systems, yes, Claude Code does that faster and cheaper now. But here is the thing, nobody is saying clearly enough. AI does not replace the developer who understands systems deeply, the developer who knows how to direct Claude toward the right solution, who reviews what it produces and catches its mistakes, who makes architectural decisions that no prompt can fully capture. Those developers are not being replaced, they are being upgraded. Because now one developer with Claude Code produces what previously required a team of 5 or 10. Opus 4.7 specifically wins on tasks requiring broad architectural reasoning across large code bases. That is the skill that still requires a human brain behind it. The developers who are winning right now are the ones who learn to direct Claude Code, not the ones who are afraid of it. Claude Cowork is where this gets interesting for everyone who is not a developer. In regular Claude chat, you ask a question and Claude answers. You still have to take that answer and do the actual work yourself. In Claude Cowork, you give Claude a goal. Claude goes away and does the actual work. It reads your files, it edits documents, it creates new files, it completes multi-step tasks from start to finish, and it delivers a finished result to your folder. You come back to a completed deliverable. Real examples happening right now. You point it at a market research question and get back a full analysis with a PowerPoint presentation and an Excel workbook. You give it a folder of lawsuit documents, and it creates a chronologically organized exhibit set with descriptive titles. You tell it, pull my metrics from the analytics dashboard and drop them in the weekly report template every Friday. And it does it automatically every week without you touching anything. When Anthropic launched the enterprise version of Cowork, Stocks of ServiceNow, Salesforce, and Snowflake dropped immediately. The market understood what Cowork means. If Claude does the work, you need fewer tools and fewer subscriptions. Cowork is available on all paid plans through the Claude desktop app right now. If you spend any part of your workday in spreadsheets, this is worth knowing about. Claude for Excel is a Microsoft Excel add-in that puts Claude Opus 4.7 directly inside your spreadsheet. It reads complex multi-tab workbooks and explains calculations with cell-level citations. It creates pivot tables automatically. It applies conditional formatting. It debugs errors. It builds new financial models from scratch based on your description. And here is the feature that makes this genuinely powerful. Claude for Excel and Claude for PowerPoint now share full context with each other. Every action Claude takes in Excel is informed by everything in the PowerPoint conversation. You can analyze data in Excel and turn it directly into a presentation in PowerPoint, all inside one Claude conversation, without copying and pasting anything between apps. Claude for Excel is available on Pro, Max, Team, and Enterprise plans right now. One quick thing before the big reveal. Because I promised to be honest with you, Claude Opus 4.7 costs the same on paper, $5 per million input tokens and $25 per million output tokens. Same as before. But the new tokenizer processes your text using up to 35% more tokens to complete the same tasks compared to the previous models. So your bill could quietly go up by 25 to 35%, even though the listed price stayed the same. If you use Claude casually for chat, you probably will not notice at all. If you use it seriously through the API for production work, check your usage after upgrading. The cost increase is real. So now let's discuss. Should you switch from ChatGPT entirely? There is no universal winner. Claude wins on deep reasoning, coding, and documents. ChatGPT wins on web research, speed, and image generation. The smartest approach in 2026 is using both tools for what each does best. Now, the thing I promised you at the very beginning, the model Anthropic built, but will not let you use. In March 2026, Anthropic accidentally left a draft blog post in a publicly accessible data cache. Fortune magazine found it. And what they found shocked the AI world. Anthropic had secretly completed training a model called Claude Mythos, described in their own document as by far the most powerful AI model we have ever developed. Claude Mythos, internally codenamed Capybara, is not an Opus upgrade. It is an entirely new model tier, larger and more intelligent than anything in the Opus family. That is not an upgrade. That is a completely different category of AI. But here is the thing. Anthropic decided not to release Mythos to the public. Not yet. Maybe not ever in its current form. Why? Because during testing, Claude Mythos found a 27-year-old bug in OpenBSD, a system known primarily for its security. Anthropic decided this model is too powerful to release freely, so instead they launched Project Glasswing, a group of technology companies getting access to Mythos, but only for defensive cybersecurity work, finding and fixing vulnerabilities, not building products, not general use. Think about what this actually means. The model publicly available today, Opus 4.7, is already the best AI most people have ever used. And somewhere in Anthropic's servers sits a model that makes Opus 4.7 look like a warm-up, a model they built and decided humanity was not ready for yet. That is where we are in 2026. Claude Opus 4.7 beat ChatGPT 7.0. Claude Code is changing how developers work. Cowork is completing knowledge work autonomously. And somewhere in Anthropic's servers, there is a model called Mythos that they built and decided was too powerful to release publicly. The AI world moves fast. Subscribe to AI Blueprint so you never miss a moment like this one. Drop a comment below. Are you switching to Claude, staying with ChatGPT, or are you most shocked by the Mythos reveal? I read every single one. See you in the next one.